Hey Baddies! So a little while ago, one of you commented on my intermediate sourdough recipe video, asking when the pizza video was coming. And I'm not sure if you were joking or not, but I figured I'd share my sourdough pizza recipe anyway, because it's pretty simple and gives you great results in a home oven. So let's get started. First, we need to make the pizza dough by mixing the flours, water, salt, and sourdough starter until they're well combined and there are no more dry streaks of flour. This recipe makes enough dough for two 9-inch personal pizzas. The dough starts out a bit stiff, but just keep mixing and it should come together. Cover the dough and leave it to rest for 40 minutes. After resting, it's time to knead the dough. I don't really have a specific technique for this, I just like to fold the dough over itself and knead it in the bowl. I knead the dough for about a minute, then I cover it and leave it to rest for another 30 minutes. Next, it's time for the first set of stretch and folds. Wet your hands, then grab an outer edge of the dough, pull it up, and fold it over across the middle. Continue folding by working your way around the rest of your dough. Leave it to rest for 1 hour. Do the second and final set of stretch and folds. Then flip the dough out and place it back in the bowl with the seam side down to help maintain the tension across the top. Then leave the dough to finish bulk fermenting until it rises about 40 to 50% in volume. This took me a total of 5 hours at around 78 degrees Fahrenheit. Now it's time to divide and shape the dough into balls. Flour your hands and the work surface, then use your fingers to loosen the dough from the sides of the bowl. Next, flip the dough out onto the floured surface. Use a knife or a bench scraper to divide it into 2 portions. Again, each portion makes one 9-inch personal pizza. To shape the dough, fold each of the opposing sides into the middle so that you have a small square, then fold in the 4 corners. Flip the dough over so the seam side is down, and repeat this with the other portion of the dough. Then use your hands to round each piece into a tight ball. If you're making your pizzas right away, then cover the dough with a towel and allow them to final proof at room temperature for another 2 or 3 hours. If you plan on making pizzas the following day and want to final proof them in the fridge, which is what I'm doing here, then place the dough balls seam side down in a bowl or on a baking sheet greased with some olive oil. Cover them and place them in the fridge for at least 12 hours, but I've kept them in the fridge for up to 30 hours with great results. If you final proofed in the fridge, then you'll need to place the dough to warm up at room temperature for 1 to 2 hours before you start making your pizzas. Once the dough is almost done resting, I preheat my oven to 450 degrees Fahrenheit with a cast iron skillet placed in the top third of the oven so that it can be close to the burners. Once the oven is preheated, you can shape your pizzas. Flour the work surface and remove the dough from the bowl. Thoroughly coat both sides of the dough with flour to prevent sticking, and finish with the seam side on the bottom. Next, use your fingers to press a border around the dough to form the crust of the pizza. Then place the dough on the backs of your hands so that it's resting on your knuckles, and rotate the dough in a circle, gently stretching it out as you go. Stop when the dough is nice and thin and measures about 9 inches in diameter. Place the shaped dough on a piece of parchment paper. This makes it much easier to slide the dough in and out of the oven, and you won't have to worry about it sticking to the peel. Next, add your favorite sauce and toppings. My favorite topping is mushrooms, so that's what I'm going with here, along with some chilies for some added spice. Once you're finished, slide the pizza onto a peel and place it in the oven to bake at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for about 8 to 10 minutes. While the first pizza is baking, you can start making the second pizza. I'm using the same shaping technique here, except I'll top this one with tomato sauce and fresh mozzarella to make a margherita pizza. I like to spread out the sauce to the edges of the dough because it gives the crust a nice color after baking. Once the first pizza is finished, place the second pizza in the oven and bake it the same way. So here are our 2 lovely pizzas fresh out of the oven. Rather than topping the margherita pizza with fresh basil, I like to finish it off with some dollops of pesto. I know this isn't traditional, so if there are any Italians watching, please don't hate me. So there you have it, delicious sourdough pizza at home, no wood-burning oven required. And if you haven't already, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.